So we're currently outside, just in front of the chimney shaft itself, in front of the chimney breast. I've currently in front of me got the Hollar Print. The reason I'm here is to kind of just put a little bit of information onto what we're currently seeing and what would have originally looked like when Charles II was here. Now, the chimney breast, what we see now, is rendered. It wouldn't have been lime rendered back then. This chimney breast itself would have been brick. So you can imagine literally red brick. And if you look at the basement, that brick has just been cobbled together like we've seen on other images. With regards to on the Hollar Print at the moment, we can see at the very top of there is two crests. Now that is more than likely family crests, you'd imagine, on the front of there. And below that is a square dark shape. Now, what we've currently got in front of us is three painted windows. Now there's always been talk of it being the Trinity, with the three of them, so Catholic symbols on there of the three of them, but we know that isn't the case on the Hollar Print, and this is from 1660. So for me, I always want to go back to the source, see what we've got, see what actually would have originally been here when it was made. So what is that box in the middle that's now painted as a window in that middle section? Now it could be if you go to sort of places like Hampton Court, you go through and there'll be a plaque of some kind. It will be ornate. It might even say the date of when it was built. It might have, and once again, a family crest or an emblem or anything like that. So it could be that, or it could be a painted window and they've just painted it on there to maybe look a little bit grander. Who knows? But the key thing is the two top ones where those crests are not the two windows that have been painted there, which are now in the same situation, the same, this kind of smiley face or weird face that people say, oh, the face on the chimney, where does that come from? It's not there originally, it's not there. You'll see just below that middle square on the Hollar Print there is a slit, and that dark slit actually refers to the window which is in the garderobe. So when you go into the room today, you'll see panelling that has been added in, but at the back of there you'll see where there is actually a window that used to be there.
That's the one that's been blocked up.
It has, and that is the same situation, same situ as that slit that's drawn on the Hollar Print. Now on the side of it, we know there is also above the doorway, which is on the bottom of the chimney, we know there's that other little window which is open still, and that is located in kind of situ on the side of that chimney breast there. You can see roughly a little dot of a whiter dot, and more than likely that is that little window. So once again, now we look what's in front of us. Below the big black middle painted window, we have a slit put here, and we have another slit next to it. Those aren't here originally, they've just been painted in, they've been kind of evened out, let's say, because if you look at the Hollar Print itself, it's all out of sync. I mean, the stairs that lead up to that little door are much bigger on the Hollar Print than originally. Now when you're doing etching like this, you're quite limited to what you're trying to draw, and it's quite fiddly, so they're going to maybe emphasize bigger items or draw it a little bit different so that you can see those things a little bit more, or they've just drawn it out of sync. They've drawn it out of a little bit out of proportion.
So are you saying we should take this perhaps as a little bit of a guide, rather than literally in every respect?
Yeah, so what we see now is essentially a stylised version of what they've looked at the Hollar Print, and then they've gone, okay, well that more than likely is a window there at the top, there's two of those, there's a middle one, there's a slit, okay, we'll add another on the left hand side, and they've kind of cobbled it together from scraps of information. There's always a starting point, and the Hollar Print is the starting point because it's from 1660. It's the first image we have. But yeah, the key thing is when people ask us, so what is that? Where does it come from? It's in some senses it's scraps of reality, but also fantasy. The black slit in the middle, in all honesty, the middle section one that kind of looks like the nose of the face, I actually think that one is the one that's actually would have been in the garderobe. I think that's the stylised version of that one. And this lower one, that's at the very bottom on the right hand side, which we're going over to now, there's actually a window that was located here. So behind here there is, when we go through later, where that door is on the side of the chimney shaft, there is a window that's blocked up. Now that, I think, is that one.
I think they've added the other one perhaps for symmetry?
I think so, yeah. And there's no suggestion of there being a window that side at all. I think it's just that thing of, okay, well, it'd be odd painting that one in their mind, so we'll paint another on the opposite side potentially. It's really difficult. The thing I'm going off is an original source from 1660 and also the archaeology, which is actually here, what we can see. So when we open that door to the chimney shaft in a minute, we'll be able to see where that window was. You know, that's another lookout out of here, because this is your escape route, remember? So it's your last kind of lookout out of there. And yeah, it's just kind of piecing together what we've got, really.
Do we know when it was plastered? Is this the Evans sisters or
I mean, the rendering that we've got on now is, I think, it's 2011, but yeah, originally it would have been Victorian, Georgian period lime rendering. It was to make it look a nice, cleaner finish. Also, if you can imagine, the place is probably a bit worse for wear with the timbers. The wattle and door probably needs altering and changing, and they've kind of just gone, okay, it's an old property. Everything at that point is getting more fashionable as well, to actually have a cleaner finished building. So they're going to go with the times. They're not going to stick in, someone coming around and go, oh, that shabby old house that's looking a bit worse for wear. You know, they're going to, especially the Fitzherberts, the latter end of them, they started making a lot of changes. At the very bottom of the chimney shaft as well, in 2011, I think it was, when we had the building works, there is actually, you can't see it now, but there's two triangles, one here and one over here, which is basically, imagine the centre of it. They're separated apart, and there were brick indents. The only other place that I've seen this is at Whitwick Manor. At Whitwick Manor, if you go to the older building, right, which is now their shop, if you go around to the back end of that, they have the exact same little weird triangle. And I've not seen it anywhere else. It's the only place I've ever seen it. And there was two of them here. Now, they don't have a structural purpose. So what are they? Is it they're original. They're original to the period of the house in 1624. Are they symbolic of the Trinity being a triangle? Is this where our Trinity is coming from? Triangles are symbolic. You go to Rushton Triangular Lodge, there's a reason it's triangular. Are there two of them there for candles to be put in if you're outside? Is it a little recess for outside here if you're meeting someone? Who knows? But they're there. They're blocked up now. So I'm talking of stuff that I've seen that I can't crowbar it off. But the only place you can see that is at Whitwick Manor.